is joining us all the way from Slovenia. We're talking about an interesting topic.
Yes, we are.
Dogs addicted to toys. We've seen many puppies. My Labrador was addicted to socks in the mouth, not necessarily a toy. I mean, addicted. And I bet all across the board, all across the world, as you are across the world, people have some weird addictions with their pups. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk about our new research. So yes.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So what does this entail, and what have you found out through your research?
Yeah, actually, it started because, you know, we all heard this term ball junkies, and owners use it and dog trainers use it to describe dogs that are obsessed with their toys as if they were addicted. And to date, nobody really scientifically looked into it. So we wanted to find out if these dogs are just highly playful and motivated, or is this behavior really share similarities with behavioral addiction like in humans. So we prepared a behavioral test. I tested around 150 dogs and a questionnaire. So I think it was really great because around 1,700 people from all over the world answered. And we looked if we can see some behavioral addiction criteria like in human medicine, like salience, craving, loss of self-control, maybe withdrawal symptoms, risk of relapse, tolerance, and so on. And yes, we found quite interesting stuff.
So when it comes to, because there are a lot of people that they feel like if they take the ball away from the dog, then the ball or the dog does have, you know, symptoms kind of similar to humans where they're depressed, they're sad. Did you gauge that, and did you find that that was the case with some dogs, that literally they have the same symptoms as humans? And what are those symptoms?
Yes, exactly like you said, the big problem comes when the toy is taken away. And we noticed some of these symptoms in our behavioral test. We did several types of tests, and at one point the ball was on a shelf, and we offered the dog to play with an owner in a social play, or we offered food or some sort of other engagement, and those dogs were just highly fixated on that toy that was taken away, and they were pacing and barking and jumping up and down, and they were really highly aroused and frustrated, and they couldn't calm down. And this is what we observed during the test. And with these risk of relapse or withdrawal symptoms, this was more a questionnaire based, since we can't see those type of things or behaviors in a short hour or hour and a half long test. Yes.
So to reiterate a little bit, because I know you kind of hinted to it, but is this the same as like maybe a gambling addiction and taking that away from someone, or video games for a teen or adult and taking that away from them? They get that kind of uneasy feeling?
Yes, I mean, it's hard to say what the dogs are actually feeling. We can just observe the behavior. So they are restless, you know, they maybe are, like you said, they are sad, they are restless, they are frustrated. Why can't I play? But I would say, you know, like in humans, of course, some people get addicted to video games or gambling or so on, but this percentage isn't high. And this is the same what we found in dogs. It will come out in our next paper when we look in demographics and so on. So it's the percentage, actually, this was quite interesting, is actually quite the same as in human addiction. So around 3% of dogs that we looked into showed this addictive-like behavior. So it's not like every toy motivated dog is also addictive. I wouldn't worry. Toys are still great. Play is a wonderful thing. It builds relationship, it releases energy, so there's no need to panic or to worry too much.
Oh yeah, that was going to be my question. Like, should you reduce the amount of time that your dog, you know, if you do have a ball junkie, should you now take it away? Should you kind of gauge how often you give the dog the ball? Like, what do you suggest if it's already too late, if you have a dog that's addicted to a ball?
I mean, first of all, I wouldn't panic. You know, play, like I said, is still a great thing. But maybe try to change how you play. Instead of endless fetch games, switch to cooperative games like tug of war, hide and seek, scent work. Make these play sessions short, predictable, always include calm breaks in between. If your dog gets really restless when the dog I'm surely sorry and the toy is put away, practice relaxation in other contexts. Make sure toys aren't accessible all the time. The goal isn't to remove the play, but to help your dog balance excitement and calm. So play remains healthy and not overwhelming. So no need to panic. Just include other types of play.